the top stories, CARICOM Impact's CGIU hosts sensitization and awareness meeting. UE appoints 7th Chancellor, and Ukraine restricts human rights under martial law. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, April 29th, 2024. I'm Scotty Sia Hendrickson. Nationally, the Caribbean Community Implementation Agency for Crime and Security's CARICOM Impact's Crime Gun Intelligence Unit is hosting a series of sensitization and awareness meetings as part of its efforts to address gun crime in the region. The first round of meetings are being held in St. Kitts and Nevis from April 29th to May 2nd, 2024. In Monday's meeting, Deputy Executive Director of CARICOM Impacts, Tanya Ayo, spoke about the establishment of the CGIU and its objective.
CGIU, as you may be aware, was established, or first of all, it was approved by the CARICOM Council for National Security and Law Enforcement on the 6th of October 2022. There was a soft opening in November 2022, and by June 2023, we began with 5 members of staff. And the CGIU is supposed to be an innovative resource for the region to merge and fuse firearms data and information to provide actionable intelligence and insights.
She also outlined what will be discussed during the meetings this week.
This week, we will hear how Impact's CGIU department has been working with embedded and virtual partners, the findings, the successes, the challenges. And as we are here, we will all take the opportunity to show the tools and resources available to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis as you continue to tackle the scourge of illegal trafficking of firearms.
With the surge of crime across the region, Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, described the hosting of the CGIU meeting as timely.
The importance and timeliness of this workshop cannot be underestimated, particularly against the backdrop of increased instances of violent crimes across the Caribbean region, and we are no exception in St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis is not immune to these incidents of violent crime. Our law enforcement agencies are fully engaged to arrest this menace to society, as in all of the societies across the Caribbean.
Other meetings are scheduled to take place in all 15 CARICOM states over the coming months. Nevis's X-Men Delson Roper is the winner of the Culturama 50 Jingle Competition. The announcement was made during the launch of the Summer Festival on Friday at the Charlestown waterfront.
We want to commend Mr.
Delson X-Men Roper, who won the Culturama 50th Jingle Competition.
And we congratulate him on this achievement. The panel chose his jingle from a pool of 9 other entries. Delroy Walters of West Audio Z produced the winning piece, while top international producer Andrew Denny mixed and mastered it at Drew's crib through his company, Andrew Denny Productions in Barbados.
Delson Roper is a seasoned division performing artist with a rich repertoire of songs. As a singer, songwriter, and producer, he has created memorable tunes like Food All Over, No Place I'll Rather Be, Cultural Sweetness, and Happy to Be Alive.
His submission was one of 10 in the competition that ran for 3 months. Roper will receive a cash prize of 5,000 EC dollars from the Nevis Culturama Committee. The jingle will be used to promote the 50th anniversary of Nevis's Culturama Festival and homecoming celebration locally, regionally, and internationally. Dr. Lornette Mills' Charitable Fund Spelling Bee competition is slated to take place early next month. Premier of Nevis and Senior Minister of Education, Honorable Mark Brantley, gave details about the annual event while speaking at his most recent press conference.
To say that an event that is looked forward to each year our annual Spelling Bee competition. In collaboration with the Lornette Mills Charitable Fund, that competition will take place on the 10th of May at 9 a.m. for primary schools and 1 p.m. for secondary schools. And so this is where our schools battle for supremacy in terms of spelling.
The Spelling Bee competition is being held in collaboration with the Department of Education and will take place at the Jessup's Community Center. Education Officer Shanella Joseph told ZIZ News that the competition will feature an easy, intermediate, difficult and collaborative round in the primary category and an on-scene and the beaker in the secondary category. The competition will see participation from all 9 primary schools and 3 secondary schools on Nevis. In regional news, the University of the West Indies has announced the appointment of Doddridge D. Miller as the institution's 7th chancellor, the highest office holder at UE. Miller, who is expected to serve a 7-year term beginning August 1st, 2024, will succeed Robert Bermudez, who has served as chancellor since 2017. At its virtual annual business meeting held on Friday, members of the University Council accepted the recommendations of the Chancellor's Search Committee to appoint Miller. A graduate of UE, Miller is a Caribbean luminary over the past 30 years of leadership experience in banking, insurance, and financial services sector. The lone opposition member in the attendance at the House of Assembly meeting in St. Lucia, Bradley Felix, delivered his presentation on debate of the 2024-2025 budget. Here is more from HTS News Force.
Guiltiness rests on their conscience. Mr. Speaker, later in my presentation, I will provide you with an insight as to why parts of the budget may have invoked this line.
Member of Parliament for Choiseul, Saltibus, Bradley Felix, noted that while there are aspects of Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre's $1.89 billion budget that he has met with favor, there are other portions that have raised eyebrows.
The government, in recognizing the pain and suffering as a result of the direct consequences of the health and security levy, the refusal to lower gas prices, and the obvious consequences of increased cost of doing business. Obviously, if gas prices are high, everything goes high. They had no choice, Mr. Speaker. They had no choice in an effort to sleep properly at night to increase pensioners' income and fast-track minimum wage policy. Now, Mr. Speaker, I don't want anybody on the opposite side to believe or misunderstand me that the minimum wage policy is critical and it is very necessary. But it is very heartbreaking, Mr. Speaker, that how some of our pensioners have to struggle to make ends meet. And this should not be as a result, Mr. Speaker, of the government not being able to do something. And I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, that this increase that the government will be providing to the pensioners, Mr. Speaker, will be suffocated by if they continue to keep the gas prices at the rate that you're keeping. Okay, Mr. Speaker?
Felix expressed his disappointment with the year of infrastructure agenda, having little to no mention of upgrades to the water and sewage company.
I really thought in the age that we live in that I would hear a lot more with regards to Wasco's infrastructure. Because, Mr. Speaker, and I'm sure you have heard predictions that the future wars will not be about oil, but water. And our droughts are getting more severe. In fact, Wasco had a meeting, a press conference, I think, yesterday, and they indicated to the media that their resources are drying up at an even faster rate than before. They gave various figures.